Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the studio at Two Girls Treasure. How are you today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure and we are continuing to work on this lovely, lovely grandfather clock cabinet. We did the blue lace over the top of the fresh sage yesterday in not a dry brush and not a drip paint and not a salt wash finish, but in a very subtle brush over white back. We brushed it on wet, pulled it dry with a dry brush, and when we needed to, a damp cloth. Almost a glazed finish, if you will, without using tintable glaze. We could have done that, but I wanted the rich tone of the blue lace over the top of the fresh sage, so we did that yesterday. Now, today, we need to get the back plate for the inside done. We've got the side panels done, and when you're working with, I'm going to set this off. I love that it's so light and movable when it's an empty case. But when you're working with a fiber board, which is what the inside back panel of this really is, and let's get that out and I'll show you, because we looked at it when we started. It almost looks like cardboard, but it's a little bit stronger, and it has a texture on the back. And on the front, it's nice and shiny, and it's made to match the tone of the wood cabinet. It's just a plastic coating over the fiber board. You've seen these. They're not hard to work with, but they're not easy either, and here's why. Because it's fiberboard, when it gets wet naturally, it has a tendency to expand or come apart. So prepping these is kind of delicate. You have to be careful. Because this has the plastic laminate coating over the top of it though, we can get away with a light prep, but then we want to make sure we do one thing first to make this a more successful piece of the whole puzzle. We want to seal it first. You hear me tell you, seal it first all the time. When you're doing something like this, seal it first is really important, and here's why. This is not made to take on more color than it was given. It was made to only be this color ever. Lightly prep it, and be careful, we still have some little nail heads sticking out from the pin nails. Be careful, because where those pin nails went into the sides, they make divots, and those divots are raised. We hate that. But if you're not careful and you run over it too harshly, you can actually tear the fiberboard. Isn't that crazy? That's how inexpensive it is for a manufacturer to use a back plate of this quality. It gives them the look like the wood without the expense and the weight of the wood. Now, is that the best option? Probably not, but for them it is. So we will work with what we have. Got two more pin nails right here. Out they go. We'll work with what we have. Just a nice, easy, gentle prep so that we can take our tough top, and it doesn't have to be any particular sheen. It just needs to be. One more piece and I'll quit reaching. Now, here's the first thing that's going to happen when you put the tough top on. because we're working with a plastic surface, even though we just prepped it, it's probably going to bead up on top of this surface. I'm just going to take my microfiber stain pad and I'm going to coat this one end to the other, spread that tough top out. I think this is a matte finish, low luster finish. It doesn't matter what the finish is. What matters is that once you get this on here, that laminate surface will be sealed. And then once we apply the paint to this piece, we won't have to worry so much about the laminate rejecting our paint. You can see areas where I'm going back over it again. It's just kind of beating up on it because it's a plastic surface. It's not a real wood surface, and it's not going to accept the tough top the way a bare wood piece would, or like a woodchuck could. So I'm going to move this completely out of the way while it dries. Take it down here to the end of the workbench because we don't have a class today. We have a class tomorrow. We have another piece that we need to do. This is the inside of the bottom, and while this is not as visible, this is the back behind the clock. This is not as visible, but we want to seal it up too and make sure that it is not problematic as we're moving forward. I'm not going to prep this because this has no laminate over the top of it. It just has sort of a finish, but you can see the flecks in it. And if we spray this and make it wet, we will probably wreck it. Let's not be Wreck-It Ralph today. I'm just going to get some of my tough top on here, and then we'll smear it around, seal this up. How come the tough top doesn't ruin it? It's not just water, it's not just a liquid, it's a sealer. You have to choose your battles when you're working with these kind of products, because sometimes it works one way and sometimes it works a completely different way. So when you learn what the fibrous wood particle boards are and how to maneuver through them, you can just decide what works best for you. This is what works best for me. I like to tough top it and let it dry so that we don't ruin it. Let's get the inside back of the door frame done while those dry. We have our fresh sage, and we've got some areas where we didn't get good coverage, so let's get those today. I'm going to grab another Miracle brush. I'm going to spritz it just gently with some water. I'm going to cap my tough top so I don't spill. And let's cover this really well. I like the look of the blue lace over a nicely finished fresh sage. It really looks beautiful. So we will make sure we have a good full coat of paint on this inside piece all the way around, inside the edges. And this Miracle brush is perfect for all the surfaces that we're working on. Do you see the lock mechanism hole? Did you see that I just went over that with the paintbrush? If you cannot see, which I imagine you can't, that paint just went down inside there. Trust me when I say that it did. And here's the way to address that. When you're working with a project that has areas that are recessed, or where screws or where mechanisms tuck back in, you're bound to get paint inside those crevices. Just take a small brush and scoop any drips and runs out. Here's why. If you let the paint build up inside there, when you get ready to reassemble this, your mechanism is not going to fit back in there because there will be buildup. And if there's buildup, then it won't fit back in there properly, and you'll end up having to scrape paint out. Let's address it and tackle it from the beginning so that it's not a problem at the end. That's my way of doing that. Just take it on, fix it up, address it as you go. That way when you get to the reassembly, it's a little smoother. You're bound to run into some challenges in the reassembly, so the more issues you can eliminate on the front side, the better off you'll be in the long run. And that's where our hinges go. Same thing. If you end up putting a little bit more material into the screw holes than you intend, just take a small brush and smooth it back out, scoop it back out of those holes. You know, it sounds so crazy, but it is also an awesome idea to keep some Q-tips in your studio, in your workspace. They're not just for your cosmetic needs. We use everything else for painting. Use your Q-tips to scoop out paint because they will absorb what you need them to and take it out of the way so you're not filling up those crevices that you need when you reassemble. Make sense? Thank you so much. If you're just joining me this morning, thank you. We are waiting for the inside panels to dry. We just put some low luster Tough Top on them just to seal them up. They are laminated, corrugated material, and they'll have a tendency to absorb too much material, and in some instances that can cause damage to the actual board because it's not real wood, and then you'll be in a pickle because you'll be trying to scramble and figure out how to make a repair that you did not anticipate. You have to anticipate some issues, but that's not one you want to have to work with. Minimize the damages as you go, or the opportunity for damage, because not all the surfaces you're painting are real wood, especially if you're painting more modern pieces. More modern pieces are bound to have fiberboard construction, laminated, corrugated materials like we have. Veneers on really old furniture are actually real wood. It wasn't until later on that manufacturers discovered they could save even more money by using even cheaper materials. And a lot of the furniture that you'll find today, even the expensive stuff, is made with cheaper finishing materials just so they can get it made, not have to use so many resources, and definitely so they can save an extra dime. I'm a business owner, I get it. You're a furniture flipper, you get it. You want to save as many pennies as you can so you can maximize your profit margin, right? Well, the old business model was not to do it at the expense of quality. And the new business model is Anything goes. Now, I just heard a ting, which means that someone's looking for me, and we'll get around. We'll get there in just a little bit. Done. Looking good. Covered in fresh sage. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's see. Our boards are not dry yet, but we still have some pieces on the clock body. Oh, I love this. Look at that. I love that I can pick this up and move it. So much fun. So much fun. I probably will lay this back down on the cart so that I don't knock it over, but we want to go ahead and coat the inside of this with our blue lace. So here we go. Let me play. Woo! Woo! Let me play the Incredible Hulkster and lay this back up here without damaging the world. Let's see what we have. We did blue lace here, and I believe we did blue lace on the other side. No, we didn't. We did the other side in our fresh sage. So we'll lay this down. I'm not being especially careful this morning. There we go. That's much better. Let's not destroy it. Let's get back to our blue lace. I'm excited about that. Blue lace is in stock. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. Limited edition. When it's gone, it is just gone. This is Rethunk Junk Resin Paint by Laura. This is blue lace. It is a retired color that we have begged and begged and begged and begged and begged for. And here it is, right back on our shelves. So don't wait. Make sure you get your blue lace before it is gone, gone, gone. Because once we sell out, I may put in one more order. But just like Deep Ocean and so many other colors that have been retired, if you don't get what you need when we have it, some of these colors are impossible to replicate. There are some colors you just can't, because you have to start with a base that is not blendable with other colors. I'm cutting off some of the overhang here, the ridges, if you will. There we go. And that makes it a nice smooth finish. We're going to take our blue lace. I'm going to give it a little spritz, just enough so that I have some smooth movement. I don't want it slippery. And I have a dry brush right here. We're going to put just enough blue lace on. And it looks like I'm just going to paint right over that fresh sage. But what we're actually doing is taking our dry brush and pulling it right back off. And get my paper towels. Just peel off a little bit. I'm going to dampen this. I do not want it wet. I just want enough so that when I use my dry brush to swipe back some of that blue lace, I can wipe off the excess so I can move to another section. I don't want to pull all of the blue lace off. I wasn't even touching that. I just want enough. I just want enough off so that that fresh sage peeks through from behind that blue lace, which is a beautiful and stunning color. Fresh sages too. But together, these two colors make an amazing pair. And it makes a beautiful aged finish. Just that nice light grayish blue over a base of sagey green gives you one of those indefinable finishes that people love to look at. And if people love to look at your finish, they're going to buy your furniture. So if you're a furniture flipper, just a single color does the job. It does. You know I love multicolors, and you know I love to layer the look. Now, if your brush is not pulling enough off to satisfy the look that you're going for, take your paper towel. It's not quite damp enough. But it will peel back just a little bit of that blue lace and let that fresh sage peek through. Let's ease over. I swear I didn't even touch it. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. I see what fell now. Just a little bit of blue lace. Don't forget to get your blue lace. And thank you to everyone who wanted blue lace last week and waited so patiently for it to come in. Thank you. It is here now, and I can't wait to use it over and over and over again until it's gone again. But I'm thankful to have it today. And I hope you take the opportunity to come get some of it. We are open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. You can come by anytime, and if you can't make it here during those hours, you can always put your order in online, mark it for pickup in person, and send me a message and let me know when you're coming. If you need it shipped, that's fine. We ship every single day. If I get your order by 2 p.m., 2:30-ish, I will get it out the same day. There we go. And if I get your order after 2:30, it's okay. I'll try to get it out same day. If not, it'll go out the very next. As long as it's a weekday. Our little small city town post office closes at noon. They're open for 2 hours on Saturday, and that is it. That's not enough time to get life done, is it? Just a little brush back gives us a hint of blue lace, gives us a hint of fresh sage, makes it so pretty, so pretty. I'm going to do the very top. We've got this beautiful colonial swoop. I'm just going to touch some spots across the top while I'm here. We're on a curved surface, and this flat brush does not want to cooperate with my movement. There we go. I absolutely love the way this looks. I'm going to touch in some spots right here on the top of this architecture. I want a little bit better coverage right there. And I guess I did touch that and knock it over. So there's my little skin spot. If you skin up your paint while you're working on it, just take your brush, tink a little bit of paint over the spot you scuffed up and leave it alone. Let it dry out. Let it do what it should do. All right, now I think we have the entire face finished. We need to do the back. We need to do the inside. Got to get this inside edge right here, because I still see way too much fresh sage, more than I want to. I want to see it, but I don't want to really see it. But it makes a beautiful base underneath this blue lace. And when we're done embellishing, we can always come back and do some shading with our fresh sage. And then it'll be really hard to determine where the fresh sage starts and the blue lace ends, and vice versa. I pulled a drip off right there and just tinked it back together. Let me tip this up. Well, before I tip it, let me get the rest of this inside edge. There we go. Okay, that's great. All right, let's flip it without tearing everything up this time. There we go. I was bragging about how easy it was to move it, and it got me, didn't it? All right, we'll start right back up here. If you have any questions about using the studio, coming to the studio, learning in the studio, what we're working on in the studio, all you have to do is send me a message. You can message me right here through Facebook, or if you're on the website, you can message me through the website. We do not use the AI bots to respond. They don't know anything about our painting techniques. And I don't know who teaches the AI, but they're part of Seer E, and she has a hard time understanding me sometimes, so I just answer my own messages. So if you need me, just message me, call me, come by. We have lots of studio time available for you. We have actually a workshop tomorrow. If you'd like to join, we'll have a 2-hour studio session, and you are welcome to join in the festivities and create a project with us. We are working on someone who could not make it for the girls' night out, but wanted to do the faux stained glass on fabric project. We're doing that tomorrow afternoon. If you are interested, if you missed that, then come on by and we will work with you. We've got the materials ready. Just make a reservation. That's all we ask. Make a reservation so I have your kit of materials ready when you get here, so you can make the most out of your time in the studio. Good times in the studio. All we need is you. Now, why am I doing the inside? Because this has glass, and when you look through the glass, you can see the inside. And if the inside doesn't look like the outside, it's going to look kind of funny, isn't it? A little piece right here. There we go. And we'll dry that out just like that. We had some custom work go out the door yesterday. We're so appreciative, so thankful that our customer was happy and got what she wanted and expected. Remember the waterfall dressing table we just did week before last? It sat here, it cured, it went home, and it looks fabulous. I can't wait to see it in its new home space, and I know it's got a beautiful, beautiful life to live. If you need any custom work done, we do have a little bit of a wait. Not much right now. We're knocking out some projects quick as we can. But if you don't have the time, or you feel like you're not inclined to refinish your own, we can do it for you. Get on the calendar. If you want to learn how to do your own, then sign up for Smalls on Saturday. That is your opportunity to bring a smallish piece. This does not qualify as smallish. And we will walk you through, guide you in your quest to learn how to prep properly, paint pretty, and protect your work. If you also want to embellish your work, then right after we take a short lunch break, you can come back and choose your Iron Orchid Design product, and we'll teach you how to make the application. We have lots of materials in the studio for you to choose from. We have every single color of Rethunk Junk paint in here. And we love to have fun and fellowship. Next Friday night, June 28th, is our family fun night. No one needs to go to the emergency room on a Friday night because they were trying to have fun. I know jumping on trampolines is a blast, but someone always ends up at the emergency room. Roller skating, same thing. And some of us should not go roller skating anymore. We could break a hip, although I do love roller skating. I do. But this way, you can come have fun with the whole family all at one time. The lights are on. We don't do the glow-in-the-dark thing here. We don't want anybody to trip and fall. We just want to paint and craft and have a blast together. Next Friday evening, starting at 5 p.m., 5:30, come on in and make a mermaid tail. It is almost summertime. 2 more days, and it will be summertime. Officially. And we need mermaids in our lives. So come make a mermaid tail with us next Friday night for family fun night. And then next Saturday the 29th, come join us for Smalls on Saturday. Time just flies on by. July is coming. We have our calendar going together. Lots and lots of fantastic activities. We're going to make the most out of our summer and have fun together. And we'd like to see you here too. Now I've got to get right up in here. Let's see. Here we go. I've got to get right up in there. Sometimes with some pieces of furniture you have to become an absolute contortionist to get to what you need, to paint what needs to be painted and finished. I'm extra, so I always do extra. And if I had a lick of sense, I'd lay this down. Let's do it. Here we go. And I'll go around on the other side. I'll move my paint and my brushes, grab my rag and my spritzer. It's nice to have a rolling cart. It is nice to have a rolling cart. I swear it is. I'm going to mist this just gently. Just so I have enough movement there. Makes it a little bit easier to brush it back. And I know yesterday I said small sections at a time, and here I am doing an entire section, but I really want to get this part done. Today is Wednesday. I have a special paper that I really want to use, but before I can get to that, I need to finish this. And it's easy to move on and do the next part, but if you don't finish the part you're working on first, then you're gonna miss something. I'm gonna miss something. If I miss something, I won't know it until it's too late. And I don't want that. I wanna make sure I get it all when it's time. Here we go. I am not sure what time it is, but I am positive I have spent as much time as I can this morning on the live. I have a ton of work to do. We have some inventory that we've got to make sure is available for you to purchase. Keep your eyes on the website for the newest products. Just click the button that says all products, drop the menu down and choose newest, and you can see everything that we're getting into inventory at Two Girls Treasure, and you might find something fabulous that you cannot live without, besides Rethunk Junk Paint. Now I know you want this, but you might find something else as well. I'm so glad that you stopped in this morning. We are wrapping up the color, the main colors on this more modern, less expensive, but beautiful grandfather clock piece. And once we get this done, today, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish the paint work on this. I'm going to do that door right there. I'm going to get those panels base coated, and tomorrow we're going to do the fabulous work that I'm holding out to do because I need to make sure I finish everything first. I'm so glad you took the time to be here with me today. Thank you so much. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. I-95 is 1 mile that way. Get off the exit 164 and come on over. See what kind of treasure and fabulous Rethunk Junk Paint products we have in store for you and all of your projects and crafting this summer. Make sure you make your reservations for studio session activities, and do this too. Have a blessed and wonderful day. And join me right back here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we're going to do the special part. I'm excited. I hope you are too, because I haven't even told you what the special part is, but I have this really cool paper and it's going to be fabulous, and make sure you're here for that. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and pray for one another too. I'll see you. Bye, y'all.